And if not, then we can fill it in with whatever you got.
All right, Landon. So, how old's your buggy now?
2 years old.
Okay. And how we'll do this is we're just going to talk like you're just talking to some random person that's looking at your buggy. Like, don't worry about the camera. Okay. So who built it? Who built your car?
My dad and my grandpa.
Oh yeah? Where'd they build it at?
In our old house in the shop.
Okay. So everything's home built,
Yes.
right? Tell me a little bit about it. Tell me what you know about the buggy. Let's start with that.
What I know about it is it's a Harley Davidson Sportster motor with a 1200 big boy kit, and I have a Samurai transfer case.
Okay.
And a Toyota axles loaded with trail gear 419 gears, and
That's right.
and I have 40s Max's trips on for my tires and trail gear tires.
Okay. Now your tires, are they stickies?
Yes.
So it's not a tire you can drive on the road, right?
Not really.
Okay. So you have rear steer on this, right?
Right.
How do you control that?
So we control it from right here on this little joystick.
Okay.
And
Does it self-center, or you have full control of it?
I have to full control.
Okay. Do you use the rear steer often?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you like using the rear steer?
Yes.
Well, so the reason I ask is I know a lot of people that have rear steer, but it seems like they're not comfortable using it, and they're almost like using it incorrectly, maybe. So the fact that you're your age, I'm guessing you take a lot of direction from your spotter, right?
Right.
And who's your spotter?
My dad.
Okay. Do y'all is it hand signals, or do y'all do it with a radio?
We do it with PCI radios.
Okay. And you're sponsored by Trail Gear, right?
Right.
So they help you out quite a bit?
Yeah.
Nice. What other sponsors do you have?
Max's tires, Brannock Motorsports, Trail Gears.
So you got Trail Gear, Maxxis, Brannock. Anybody else?
Brannock, Yukon Gear and Axles.
Okay, Yukon's good. Real good stuff.
Look at your stickers.
Yeah.
Yukon 1 winches, 503 designs, Well Off-Road, Brannock, Pruitt Diesel and Auto, and that's mostly all of them.
It looks like you've got a good support network to provide you with parts and help. Have there been any instances that you ran into where you really needed something and your sponsors really came through for you?
Yes.
What can you tell me about that? If you remember.
How about transfer case parts that just blew up on G-Man's buggy?
Yeah, because y'all have another car, right?
Yeah.
That your brother runs?
Uh-huh.
You want to introduce your brother real quick?
Landon knows about it because Landon competed in Sub-Zero for the first
True. Yeah.
Sub-Zero is what started it all, right?
Yeah. Because
Right.
this is your second buggy, right?
Right.
And so, G-Man, you're running his old buggy, right? And what's it called?
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. Do you like it? Or would you rather be in this car, or do you like Sub-Zero better?
Sub-Zero better.
Do you? All right. Now, which car do you like best?
I like mine.
Okay. Well, at least you're not fighting over who's in what buggy, right?
Yeah.
So, what happened with the transfer case in your brother's buggy, your old buggy?
So
You guys were at the house playing follow the leader in the
yeah,
creek.
we
and
were
what
playing
happened?
follow the leader, and what happened is Gunner forgot to shift it in gear and just stayed on the gas while it wasn't in gear, and then it went forward, and then it sounded like tools fall.
Sounds like a bunch of tools falling out.
Yeah.
So, who helped you get parts for it?
Trail gear.
Nice. Did they send you everything you needed?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good. It's good to have suppliers that can get you what you need when you need it.
Yeah.
So, is there anything on here that you want to point out that is really cool, really custom on it?
I like the seat. The seat's really comfortable.
And who makes that seat?
PRP.
Okay.
And who did that design?
Who did the design?
Him.
Oh yeah, Alan
That's
did
what
it,
I like
huh?
the best part of it.
So, do you like the camo?
Yeah.
So, whenever I was in the Army, this was one of the uniforms we had, was this ACU pattern. None of us liked it. Like, it didn't match with anything. Like, I think it looks good on a seat, but when you're out, like, in the woods and stuff, it doesn't fit anything. It feels like you should be in a video game or something. So,
That seat you got to pick out everything from the stitching to the colors to what you wanted on that seat.
so the
too.
camera's behind you now. So you got this seat completely custom made, right?
Right.
So, if anybody doesn't know, like, PRP really good. Do you like the padding on here?
Yeah.
Makes it so much more comfortable, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
And now, with what you're doing, you don't have to worry about a neck restraint, right?
No.
So you're in a fire suit, helmet, right? What do you wear? Gloves?
No.
No. What kind of shoes do you wear?
I usually wear my bad shoes.
What kind?
My bad
Just his
shoes.
play shoes.
Oh,
He
okay.
doesn't have to have fire shoes.
Okay.
Just regular shoes.
Are you ever worried about fire in this thing?
Just if it gets smoky and stuff, then that's what I'm worried about the most. But
And you've got a fire extinguisher on board, right? And of course, the courses you're on, like, you've got people really close to you, right? So that helps a lot too. That really.
and they also have a big fire extinguisher.
Good point.
Just in case we didn't have one.
Okay. So I see you've got two pedals here. Can you tell everybody about why you have two pedals?
So that's the gas. You can tell by the go. But this is front and this is back. So this one will control the back one, and this will control the front. And if I push one, it won't put this into gear, because it won't stop right there. And I have to push both of them so I can shift it into digger four-wheel drive.
So you'll use the front and back separately to do like front digs, rear digs to position yourself around the cones and stuff, right?
Right.
And what's actually cool is the pedals have an F for front, an R for rear, and then the gas pedal actually says go. So I'm assuming you can read, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, go is pretty simple. I mean,
Yeah.
all right. It's not like you have to read a book to know which one. Do you ever forget which pedal's which?
No.
I heard you had a little incident at a toy drive event.
Yeah, my foot slipped off the pedal.
What happened?
So we're coming down this ledge, so there's two rocks that went like that and curved back in,
Uh-huh.
and then it was a crack in the middle. So when I went down, my foot slipped off the pedal and then it flipped over.
Did it scare you?
Not really.
How many times have you rolled over in both buggies? Do you have a total amount that you know?
So 2 in this one. I don't know how much. There's a lot in Seeyouonthetrail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of things in it.
Hey, G-Man, how many times have you rolled? Someone's stealing a car.
They got a.
G-Man, how many times have you rolled over? Do you know?
None.
You haven't rolled over yet? Oh, you have to break that thing in soon. So, where's your fuel tank at on this?
It is right here.
And do you know what kind of fuel that you run?
I
Is it just regular gasoline?
think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Regular gas.
Do you know what kind of oil that you run in the Harley engine? Harley oil?
Probably.
Okay, sounds good enough. Good enough. So, what kind of use what do you use the winch for on the front?
We use the winch if someone gets stuck. If someone gets them stuck or something, then we'll either pull them out if they're just stuck all alone in the woods or something on the trail, or we'll hook them up to the back. If they're fully broken, nobody's out there, then we'll just take them with there. We usually use the winch if we can't get up something and everybody's already up the hill and stuff. We'll use the winch for that, or rollovers and stuff.
Do you use it to suck the front suspension down on climbs?
Yeah,
Does that help you sometimes?
yeah, it helps a lot.
Good. Your links, they're solid aluminum, right?
Mhm.
So, from what I know of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, the solid links, the aluminum that they use, it holds a memory. So, like, they can bend a little bit and then they bend back. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Because, like, the steel ones, they'll bend and stay bent. But these aluminum, they have a memory, so you can bend it and then it'll snap back, so it doesn't stay bent. And Brannick made those, right?
Right.
Do you have any other Brannick parts on here?
I'm
assuming all your links are Brannick.
Yeah, somewhere.
Your steering links too, buddy.
Is your tie rods?
Yeah.
And you're full hydraulic, so there's actually no mechanical linkage on your steering, right? I mean, I guess the hose is, but it's fluid that steers. Is your steering really fast, or is it kind of slow and controlled?
Sometimes I pull it like really fast if I'm on a hill on the brakes and it's still going down, then I'd have to turn it real fast, but it won't ever do that unless it's in neutral or something.
Okay. What kind of shocks do you have?
Fox.
Do you know what style they are? It's on a coilover, right? It just uses air in there?
I think.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you got pressurized air, and that's actually your spring. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, so there's nitrogen in here, and that's actually the spring. See? Hey, maybe I could teach you something, too.
You're learning.
But yeah, so like you've got some shocks that have a big spring on it, but this actually has pressurized air inside, like when you air up your football,
Yeah.
kind of it gets real stiff. So that's what's in here too. So anything else that you want to point out on your buggy? I see you got a GoPro mount down there. Is that to show you, or is that to show what you're going up?
Sometimes we'll do it to show where I'm going and stuff, or facing to me.
Okay.
What kind of motor you got in?
Harley Davidson Sportster 1200 big boy kit.
Nice.
And that is air cooled, right? You don't have a radiator?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just has an oil cooler. Is this your oil cooler, or is this your I see you got 3 coolers back here. Do you know which ones are which?
This one I think works on the first button, I think.
Off your switches?
And then this one, no, they both work at the same time.
So it looks like you've got power steering cooler, you've got an oil cooler, and probably a transmission cooler?
I think so.
Okay. So this is a really cool setup. First time I'm actually looking at this. You've got the Harley engine adapted to an automatic transmission off a belt drive. The Harley engine is driving a torque converter off of a belt. They're side by side with the belt going across, and the transmission's here and the engine's over there. That's a really cool setup. Who came up with that idea?
My dad.
Did he?
I was thinking grandpa, but
It was a mutual.
So how did y'all come up with that setup? I'm talking to Dad now.
Okay. I talked to a couple transmission buddies of mine.
Yeah.
And we ran the numbers according to like the gear ratios in the transmission on the Harley motor itself. And then we matched the torque converter to what we thought would be the good appropriate range for what gears we wanted to run in the motor.
Yeah.
So we're running second gear in the motor.
And is it stuck in second gear all the time?
It's stuck in second gear. He can start it any gear, it doesn't matter, because you're all controlled by the
True.
transmission. So all you're doing is turn the torque
So
converter.
you don't even do you still control the clutch on the
Nope.
on that, because
It's just
I guess it's always slipping.
Yep.
So
All it does is turn the torque converter, and so we got it. We were really skeptical at first. We weren't sure if it was going to really work or not, and so everything was just tacked together. We got the motor set, transmission set, axles all hooked up, and no, we didn't get the axles hooked up. We had the transfer case sitting in there, and then we fired the motor and got it all turning, and sure enough, transfer case started turning. It's like, nah, we're golden. Stop.
that is awesome.
So-
Now the other buggy, the original buggy, Sub-Zero, what engine does
It's
it
an
have?
Arctic Cat 650 four-wheeler motor. And
Okay.
it comes right out because it's drive shaft driven.
Yes.
So it comes right out and hits the transfer case right off
Okay.
the bat, and then from there, it runs to the
Okay,
axles.
so that one's a little bit simpler
yeah,
setup.
that one's way simpler.
Why did you do this?
So Dad had a vision when we built Sub-Zero the first time. He's like, man, for the new one, we should use the Harley motor. Nobody's ever really done anything like that. Especially, I've never seen it belt driven.
no.
Normally, like you'll see people put Harleys in like Volkswagen Bugs. Well, they're using the starter as a reverse.
Okay.
You can do that, and like kind of like the Goldwing setups
Yep.
and stuff. And so we're like, well, maybe we can run the belt driven off the torque converter and have everything you want right there. And so, I mean, it works great. We changed the belt. The belt goes through, believe it or not, a lot of abuse just sitting there. I mean, it does. And so we'll change the belt probably 2-3 times a year.
Where is the belt?
But off that, I had a buddy of mine machining a cog pulley that runs the power steering pump right off the pulley. So if this belt broke, no big deal. We can pull him back, but it'll still have full steering.
So your power steering pump's running off the transmission output on the engine.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you would always have.
And so, yeah, you'll always have, as long as this belt don't broke like it did on us in Tennessee, we'll be all right.
Okay.
So,
And how it broke in Tennessee, we have a flat one now, but it had little grips like these, and it came up and up and up like little spikes, and it kept on pulling off, and then we're like, what's happening? Because we knew it was the belt, it's just we didn't know how the belt was popping off and stuff. But
so it just got the bracing or whatever came loose in the pulley just enough just to grab the lip and pull it right off. Well, then once we got to the house and pulled it apart, the actual bracket that I have bolted to the motor itself broke. It had been broke, and so I don't know how long that was. So we drove 800 miles to Tennessee, got to the first course. It should have been an easy negative 30 points, but instead we DNF'd because the belt broke.
Were you able to get it fixed out there?
Not on course. I didn't take any
dang.
tools on course, so unless you take tools on course, you can't run off and come back.
Okay.
And so we had to take a DNF for that, so that put us plus 70 right off the bat. So we were playing catch up the rest of the
But you were able to get it fixed.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were able to get it fixed. But it just sucked driving that far.
Yeah.
But still it works.
You can do the best prep in the world and still miss something, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's just part of it.
All right, let's